as a party, which Trump, among others, have said we were on the wrong side. We weren't on the wrong side of Afghanistan and post 9/11, but the Iraq War thing. But the thing about the Republicans there is, Democrat establishment went along with it too.
Yeah.
Right? Hillary Clinton, all the Schumer, all the Democrats were in favor as well. But the charge was led by a Republican administration, to be fair, and that included Dick Cheney, who just passed away.
Walmart.
And we haven't mentioned this, but Dick Cheney what is he, 84, I think? He just died in
early this morning.
Yeah.
You drive down by the places
he passed
where
away.
They do the votes, but I don't think we have election.
Meeting the vice president on several occasions when he was the vice president.
Someone at the med clinic.
And I will tell you, Clay, we had multiple wars going on, a very different Oval Office experience as a young CIA analyst briefing then Vice President Cheney than what we got when Clay and Buck show up to hang out with Trump in the Oval. I mean, just it didn't even feel like the same movie set, the same universe. It just totally different feeling. There was an intensity and a solemnity under those Bush years because of 9/11 and everything else. And you walked in there and you made sure your jacket and tie were crisp, and it was, yes, Mr. President, no, Mr. President. We went in there and saw Trump, and he's like, we got the owner of the Saints, come on in here. We got JD, we got, it was like we were
Go check out the new gilt that I put in the, cabinet
just showing us cool stuff. He's like, isn't it beautiful? Look at this painting. Redid this painting, beautiful painting. It was just a very different feeling. But yeah, Dick Cheney passed away. He became very controversial. I think more controversial, actually, in some ways, after he left office with the legacy of the Iraq War.
And also, to be fair, he and his daughter refused endorsing Kamala over Trump in the 2020.
I knew his daughter did. I actually forgot that he did until you just mentioned that to me now, which is insane.
Yeah,
and that's personal bitterness overriding political. Look, I think he just passed away, and I know we're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. I'm not trying to speak ill of someone who just passed away. I think Dick Cheney was a patriot. I think he loved his country, and I think he did what he thought was best for the country. And I think a lot of the stuff that was used to attack him about how it was like he was enriching himself, that actually wasn't true.
And even the unitary chief executive attacks on Dick Cheney, I mean, he believed that the president had the authority to make important decisions.
I was in the Oval Office, and I can tell you that the vice president, watching them make decisions and discuss at various points, and the vice president was deferential to George W. Bush as president. This notion that he was the puppet master and Bush, the media, because they could get away with this, Clay. I'm not trying to get diverted. I know we got election day here, but I think the media lied to people so much about George W. Bush that they have this complete. They weren't, because of Trump and the way he did things by going right to them and bypassing the media, people's conception of who George W. Bush is, a lot of just everyday America, is a complete caricature. The guy was not dumb. The guy was not shy about leadership and making decisions, and was actually very on. He wasn't a scholar of Middle Eastern history, but guess what? Neither is Kamala or Biden or any of them, right? But the notion that he was some sort of buffoon and was bumbling and an idiot is absurd. Not true at all.
Not only that, I mean, it's funny. They remember early in Trump 2.0, it didn't work because it's Trump. You can't call somebody a dictator and then be like, they tried to say that Trump wasn't president. Remember, they tried to say President Elon. They tried to demean the person in the chief executive office, the president of the United States. And so the argument when Bush was there was, Cheney's the actual president. They tried to argue, Trump's there, Elon's the president. You ever hear anybody argue that Obama wasn't the president when Obama was in office? You ever hear anybody argue Clinton wasn't the president when Clinton was in office? Whatever you thought of their vice president. Now, to be fair, during Biden, people may have accurately said, it's actually Obama who's still president.
And to be fair, during Clinton, there may have been moments where he was busy otherwise, occupied, not really
indisposed.
With the country. Indisposed would be one thing you could say about Bill Clinton. But I think, so Cheney passed away. The guy he did have a remarkable career, and I think the best thing that can be said for him, the things that can be said for him is he loved his country, and he tried. But he was wrong on some big stuff, and unfortunately, he got particularly wrong toward the end about Trump and the the trajectory of the country.
I think,
and I think it was personal because of the repudiation of Bush-Cheney by Trump.
I think that's exactly right. He was.
I'm trying to be. People are going to get mad at me. They're going to say he's a warmonger. The guy just died. I'm trying to be charitable. He served his country for many, many years, and I think he loved America. He was willing to go to the mat against the jihadis. I will tell you that. And we needed people that were willing to go to the mat.
You can love your country and make awful decisions.
Correct.
Those aren't opposite things. And I think that
people always throw Neville Chamberlain under the bus. Yeah, was he wrong about how things would go with the Nazis? Sure. But people forget that World War I had destroyed an entire generation of Europe, including Englishmen and people from the United Kingdom. And he was hoping we wouldn't have to do that again, right?
Yeah.
He may have had the wrong remedy, but he didn't want to go to war. I mean, that's a reasonable thing to do.
And to be fair, I've read the oral history recently, in the last year or so, of 9/11, because I wanted to experience that. Remember, they thought the White House was going to get hit, and Cheney was underground monitoring 9/11 while Bush was up in Air Force One, and nobody could get in touch with him because they were trying to keep him safe.
People forget this, but they now KSM, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, in his pulled T-shirt and getting arrested and all this stuff. They were planning multiple 9/11s, and that's real. That is fact. They were going to keep coming at us with all kinds of stuff. The war on terror was absolutely necessary, and those of you who fought it should always remember that and always feel, honored in your service for the fact that they were coming for us. It wasn't just 9/11. There was more after that. And yeah, it was the fight against it wasn't perfect. No war, the fight is never going to be perfect, but it was a necessary one. It was Iraq that was the expansion of it that I think was a strategic miscalculation. But I don't think the people that said, I got hit with this even a while back with the podcast. People said, "Oh, it was all so Cheney could make money through Halliburton."
Yeah,
that's actually not. That's actually not true.
Yeah.
You can say that he was a warmonger and he made the wrong decision and it was terrible, but he actually didn't do this to make money through Halliburton for himself. And I like the criticisms to be rooted in reality.
One thing that stood out to me as I reread to experience the history of 9/11 that is really kind of crazy to think about is there was almost no communication to the president because Air Force One wasn't able to get telephone signals. They weren't able, obviously the internet was not in place. They got spotty every now and then television. So Cheney had to manage much of 9/11 because the president, they were afraid of where the next strike might be. He was just up in the air. They didn't have any idea. And so I would encourage you to go back and do some reading about that day.
They could have had 50 planes hijacked, given how easy it was to hijack the ones that they did. They could have had 50 of those planes turned into essentially massive guided missiles with hundreds of innocents aboard. We had, it's crazy to think about the worst terrorist attack ever in history, and it actually could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
And it would, by the way, it would have been worse if not for those brave souls.
Shanksville, Pennsylvania on United Flight 11.
That's exactly right. Let's roll. If that Beamer, I believe, was Todd Beamer?
Beeman, I think, or was it Beeman or Beamer? You may be right.
If it's not for him and saying let's roll, that plane ends up. We have a smoldering United States Capitol or White House. That's how close we were.
United Flight 93, I think, if I'm remembering that.
But to be fair to Cheney's memory, we needed a wartime consigliere, so to speak, after 9/11. I'm not saying that everything was good or right, but I mean the guy did step up, and a lot of bad guys needed to be taken off the battlefield. All right, money gets tight this time of year. Christmas gifts, holiday travel, donations you want to make. So let's just save you money with something that is just going to be better for you all around. Pure Talk, my friend. You can save hundreds of dollars a year. In fact, the average family of four saves over $1,000 a year when they switch from their big wireless company to Pure Talk, because Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on Pure Talk's lightning fast 5G network. Plus, right now, they'll take an additional 50% off your first month. That's immediate savings. Immediate savings, 50% off your first month. Keep your phone and your number if you want, and you can keep a lot of your own money, too. Dial pound 250, say the keywords play and buck, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will switch in as little as 10 minutes, plus save 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250, say play and buck to switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Mic drops that never sounded so good. Find them on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
News, farm, weather, and more. This is 680 KFEQ, St. Joe.
Clay Travis here. If you think you need a new roof, think again. Roof Max is a game changer in roof rejuvenation. Got black streaks, rough patches, or shedding granules? Your roof, 9 out of 10 roofs can be rejuvenated. The replacement. Roof Max can extend its life by up to 15 years. Just dial 1-855 Max for your free evaluation. Mention Clay and Buck for an exclusive offer. Roof Max, saving you money and headaches, one roof at a time.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Stroke. Super hard, obviously. The whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Now the most up-to-date weather forecast here on KFEQ.
Sunny, breezy, and mild weather coming our way for the rest of today. The high mid-70s. Dry front coming our way tonight. Pretty clear. Our low mid to upper 40s with a bit more of a northwesterly wind. And it will be cooler for tomorrow. The high low 60s with some sun. Sunny on Thursday. The high back to 70. Dry weather on Friday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Experience the future of automotive excellence at the brand new Reed Auto Plaza. Conveniently located in front of Menards, we offer the latest in new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Hyundai vehicles. Our state-of-the-art service centers, staffed by 40 factory-trained technicians with 100 service bays, provides the best vehicle maintenance and repairs in town. From new tires to major collision damage to expert diagnosis on complex issues, we have your vehicles covered. Visit us today and discover the Reed Auto Plaza difference.
When looking for the highest standard of HVAC service and care, turn to Comfort Heating and Cooling, your local Lennox Premier dealer, a company who has the highest level of training, professionalism, and customer satisfaction. Right now, get up to $1,800 in rebates, or qualified buyers make no payments, incur no interest for 12 months when financing a new Lennox system. Plus, receive up to $2,600 in federal tax credits. Call us today at 816-364-6540 to learn more. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
We're the stronger than we look type. I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that sees the odds and says they're meant to be overcome.
The research JDRF is funding, it's life-changing.
We're the plan for a cure type.
When I grow up, I hope type 1 diabetes will be something I used to have.
The closer than you think type. Things like the artificial pancreas, they aren't ideas. They're happening right now. The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more insulin shots.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF, the world's largest funder of type 1 diabetes research. So one day you can say, I helped turn type 1 to type none. Join us now at jdrf.org and spread the word. #type none.
Girls and boys in poverty around the world are dreaming of a better life and a brighter future. Children International and friends like you are giving these children a chance to achieve their dreams by ensuring that they have access to health care, education, life skills, and more, so they can grow, thrive, and believe in themselves. Learn more about Children International and join us in our life-changing work at children.org today.
Find out ways to be safe and healthy on the farm. Call Central State Center for Agricultural Safety and Health at the University of Nebraska Center, 402-552-3394.
Proud to serve you since 1923. KFEQ.
Welcome back in, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We mentioned Gavin Newsom saying, boy, he just really hates liars. Here is Gavin Newsom. Let's listen.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that just sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
I'm telling you, I mean, it is going to be so ridiculous to watch this entire campaign play out, where he just lies about everything that he's ever done and refuses to take responsibility.
I have to say, if it does turn into JD versus Newsom, it's going to be good TV. It's going to be an interesting matchup, and I still think that we agree on this. And usually I would pick something else just so we could argue over it, but I still think it's probably AOC as VP. Makes the most sense, especially seeing what's going. Mamdani wins New York. That shows you that in the blue centers, socialism plays great and helps with turnout. And then Gavin Newsom does his whole sweet talking the ladies of the purple states, and all of a sudden you have a real formidable ticket. It doesn't have to be that good. Kamala lost by 250,000 votes. I know. Horrible.
That's what's scary.
You gotta remember that.
That's what's scary.
They're going to come back, everybody. The empire always strikes back.
Hey, they should make a movie about that.
Maybe I'll let them use my title. When you get to gift shopping this holiday season, do what I do. Cozy Earth, my friends, CozyEarth.com. They make the most comfortable sheets and bedding. I was sleeping on them last night. I love their stuff. All their stuff, honestly. The throwback blankets, the clothing. They even got furniture. We love these sheets on Clay and Buck. Cozy Earth sheets. That's really the baseline. I would start with the sheets for so many of you out there. They're better than whatever sheets you've got. You're going to absolutely love them. I've got my parents in New York City a bunch of these sheets on the way, and they're absolutely going to love them as much as I do. Cozy Earth products are unbelievably soft, lightweight, cool to the touch. Their bed sheets are just cozy and breathable, so you never overheat. And they all come backed by 100-night sleep trial, money-back guarantee, and a 10-year warranty. Get some Cozy Earth products. You're going to love it. Right now, Black Friday has come early at CozyEarth.com. Use my name, Buck, as your promo code. On top of their site-wide sale for up to 40% off. CozyEarth.com today. Use code Buck and share luxury with your family this season. Get some gifts from Cozy
In
Earth.
touch with rural America. 680 KFEQ. Afternoons on KFEQ. Here's your markets.
Here's a look at your closing grain markets from the Chicago Board of Trade. December corn down 2 3/4 at the close, 431 1/2. March down 2, 444 3/4. May finish 2 1/4 lower, 453 1/2 cents. January soybeans down 12 3/4 at the close, 1121 1/2. March down 12 1/2 and 1127 3/4. May beans finish 12 lower at 1137. December soybean meal down 340 at the close, 317.40. December soybean oil down 31 cents at 49.53 a barrel. December wheat out of Chicago finished 6 3/4 cents higher at 5.50 1/4. March up 5 1/4, 5.62 3/4. May Chicago wheat up 4 1/4 at the close, 5.71 1/2. December wheat out of Kansas City up 4 3/4 at the close, 5.36 1/2. March up 2 1/2 at 5.49. May wheat out of KC up 3/4 cent, 5.59 1/4. December oats finished 5 3/4 cents higher at the close, $3.02. Your local cash grain bids in St. Joseph: yellow corn $3.97 to $4.07. White corn at $4.82, soybeans $10.46 to $10.61. In Atchison, yellow corn $4.10 to $4.11, soybeans $10.50 to $10.51, hard wheat at $4.85, soft wheat at $4.78. Kansas City truck bids: yellow corn at $4.19 to $4.22, white corn at $4.92, soybeans $10.66 to $10.81, hard wheat at $5.28, soft wheat at $5.23, and sorghum at $3.56. That's your closing grain markets on KFEQ. I'm Nathan Steedley.
That's where it starts. The rest and neglect it just breaks the heart. Cause it can't split bottle body. It can't split bottle body. It can't split bottle body.
Hey Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready to
I don't know. What's an ammo shelter? Huh? Ammo shelter.
I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
So here we go. First day on the job. You got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Saw Sync with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around 50 cities with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and booties.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go. Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipient. Visit dogthinks.org.
Hi, I'm Gary LaVox. One thing you know about me is I used to be the lead singer of Rascal Flatts.